Hi, Ali Shah here. I hope you're doing well. I'm back with an exciting update on stocks. As you know, the stock market in Pakistan is doing really well. It's about to touch 100,000, so that's incredible. How is that happening? Where's going to go next? We're going to cover all of that in today's video, so watch it till the very end. So let's dive in. An employee from my company came to me after watching my last stocks update, and he said, "You talk about Pakistani stock market doing really well." At that time, the stock market index was at 92,000. So I said that we as common man, we are not seeing any benefit of it because inflation is very high and prices of goods are still very high. And as a common man, it's very difficult to survive. We're barely meeting both ends meet. We're unable to pay the bills. The bills are very high as well. So how come all these numbers are really factual? Looks like this is all fabricated. So I try to explain to what I explained to him, I'm going to explain to you as well. And after that, I'll share what is the scenario building up now with stock market, and then where should you be investing next. So what I told him was that basically you need to look at example of Havel. Havel is a car, and that has been produced by Sazgar. So for the last few months, Sazgar has been selling Havel like crazy, and the numbers are really up. So that indicates that Sazgar is doing really well. So Havel employees have to work like crazy in order to fulfill that high demand, and that is a measure of their productivity. They have to be really productive. In order to deliver that great quality product, they have to work like crazy, and that is the measure of their productivity. So when some companies are performing well, that means they are being very productive. So as an individual, when we see that our income is not really good, we need to look at it from this perspective as well. How can we become more productive? So for example, if you're doing some manual work, so manual work as a cook or a helper or a driver or a laborer, you need to see how you can learn some skills which are well paid. So sometimes you see people are moving from physical manual work to digital work, and they're getting paid more. So there are skills like graphic designing, you've got video editing, video recording, content creation. All of these things are now coming up, and this is where you make more money. And even some of these you work from remote. You don't even have to travel to work because you utilize your brain in these. So there's more pay over here. So you need to see which of these skills you can acquire. Over time, you know that AI is going to take jobs, and especially the manual jobs will be taken very soon by AI. In the first world countries, it's going to happen soon. In Pakistan or other third world countries, it's going to happen later on as well. So you need to upgrade your skill set. That was my advice. Coming back to the topic, I gave you one example of Sazgar that performed really well. You can understand from their stock price that went up from Pakistan rupees 50 to 1100 in just few months. So that's incredible growth. And we have seen that kind of incredible growth in the last 1 year in many stocks in Pakistan. So another example is Park Suzuki. Before getting delisted a year back, gave you 500% profit. People also complain that how come we can save and invest in stocks because we are poor people and we are already struggling. We are unable to pay the bills. How come you asking us to invest somewhere? So my advice to them is that I know somebody who works in a government sector, a very good friend of mine. He doesn't have a great income. He just have a decent income, and he uses that to pay the bills. He uses that to fund education of his family as well, and basically all the common man's needs. However, he puts aside a portion of his earning and invests that wisely. So he consults me from time to time because he knows that I talk a lot about investments. So he would ask me, what are the next upcoming investment? What do you recommend? I don't give financial advice, but since he's a friend, I usually share my own experiences. So based on that, he makes investments, and he is on his way to create a good portfolio. He usually spends, after he has saved almost 10 to 15%, put it aside, and then that is the money that he invests. And he's invested in real estate. He's also invested in digital assets. He has also invested in stocks. So that is what you're supposed to do. If you're even struggling now, you're going to be struggling in the next 10 years if you don't change your spending habits. You need to spend less, and you need to be money savvy as well. How the stock market is going up, let's talk about that now. Primary indicator is that you see that the US tax interests are coming down. US tax and US economy is driving the whole world economy and has an impact on all the countries, including Pakistan. Then in Pakistan also, the state bank is cutting the rates, and now the interest rate is at 15%. Almost for 2-3 years, banks have made really good money because most of the people had put their money in the mutual funds and in the money market, and they were getting really good returns just by keeping their money over there. However, that money was not being used to invest in stocks and other assets. However, now with the interest rate coming down, which is now at 15%, now people are taking the money out and diversifying. Even now there's a lot of potential, which is why I think 100,000 is not the ceiling. And I think that it's going to go up further to 140K or 150K soon, because you see that in mutual funds still we see around 90% of the money is parked over there. Around parked rupees 2 trillion is just still there invested in mutual funds, whereas only 10% is invested in stocks as of now. So if we create a balance, and there is room for improvement of almost going up, taking it up to 50%, and create a balance between mutual funds and the stocks, so there's still a lot of potential for this stock market to grow in the next few months. And that is the reason, primarily think that it's going to go up. Second reason of stock market performing well is that the IMF funds have come in, the money has come in, and that's also a good thing. And third thing is, in order to meet the demands of IMF conditions, government is taking good steps, and as a result of that, we see that the economy is flourishing and the stock market is doing really well. So these are the good indicators. And now if we talk about what are the stocks that you should be thinking and considering for investing in the next few months. In my last video, which you can watch over here a couple of weeks ago, I talked about those stocks that have performed really well. I'll just give you a quick summary as well. Oil and gas sector has done really well, banks have done really well, auto sector has done really well, and now we are left with refineries. Still there's room for improvement because they're waiting for the policy. PRL is a good stock, and then Hupco can be a good stock because Hupco has just launched BYD, Build Your Dream, which is a Chinese electric car, and I think there is a future for that. So these are the things I think you need to consider while investing. Still there's a lot of potential. Don't consider my advice. This is not a financial advice, it's just my opinion. I'm just a guy on internet, but I'm sharing how I'm observing the world. I'm sharing my experiences with you. And just like my employer raised a very valid question, how a common man can benefit, all these numbers are fabricated or are these real? So same way you can ask us questions by letting us know in comments, and we'll definitely get back to you on that. So we'll be back in with a more exciting updates on the stocks and others. Last but not the least, you need to be thinking about the portfolio and diversifying when you invest. Don't just invest, don't put all your eggs in one basket, don't invest in one stock, invest across multiple sectors, and then also create a portfolio in different asset classes. So invest in stocks, invest in digital assets, invest in real estate, invest in gold. So create a balanced portfolio. Crypto and digital assets are also performing really well, looking like a tie between Pakistan Stock Exchange and Bitcoin, because both are shooting towards 100,000. Both have crossed 99,000. So let's see which one crosses the 100,000 barrier first. But I believe that it's a very good time to be alive because the market is kicking, and I've shared with you the reasons why it's going like this. And I hope that's going to go like this for a few months as well. So while the sun is shining, you should make some money out of it. My recommendation is that it's a good time to make a move because I think the market is going to go up. There might be a small correction, but otherwise the trend and indicators are positive. So it's a good time to start your investment journey if you're not invested so far. So remember, in the past I made video about Halal Invest mobile app, through which you can make investments on mutual funds and also in money market. So I think now is a good time to take that money out and invest in stocks. And that's just what I have done as well. That I'm now diversifying and putting the money. So that's a very important point, that you need to take profit when the market is high and the market is at the peak, so that you get the benefit. Because usually what happens is it's going to go up, then it's going to come down further, and then you will be left with no profit at all. So it's very important to take profits as well. And if you see that this is one stock or an asset where you've made the maximum gain out of it, and now it's the time to take an exit, so then take the exit and reinvest the money somewhere else where you see that it's going to go up further. So I hope you liked the video. Give us a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so as well. We'll be bringing you more exciting updates and content like this. So as you know, we share practical ideas on investment and entrepreneurship that will lead you to financial freedom. So keep watching our videos. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.